All right, let's get started. So welcome to the Renku feature preview. Thank you for joining us. The purpose of this call is to share and discuss the new developments that are coming in the coming Renku releases. This is also a shared space for our community. So to set expectations, this is not a polished presentation, but rather behind the scenes look at the features that have been developed, presented by the folks who have been building them. This is also our live team meeting, where some people on the team are seeing the final versions of these features for the first time. So while there will be at times some in-depth technical discussion, we also welcome questions and topics from our community. So don't hesitate to speak up. So we'll be going through, we have about 4 or 5 features that are coming in the next few Renku releases to share today. And I'm gonna hand it off first to Lorenzo.
Yeah, thank you, Laura.
Introduce the features that you've been working on.
Yep, so I'm gonna show you a couple of changes to the UI. The first one is about how you can link your existing data connectors to projects. So just for comparison, this is what you see right now if you open up a project in Renku Lab. So when you try to link an existing data connector, the interface shows you this model where you can copy paste an identifier from another data connector. This is not very user friendly because you have to first go to the other data connector, the one you're interested in, and then you need to find the identifier, and then you need to manually copy paste that. But we got the feedback from some users that they didn't even know they could reuse an existing data connector. So now we decided to change that model. So I just created a new project because I can link everything I have on this deployment. So this is the new page you see as soon as you open the model to link data connector. So instead of showing you just an input, now we do a search among your existing data connectors. Here we don't have a lot of stuff, so because it's a demo deployment, but on Renku Lab we have many. So on top of showing your data connector, so the one you have in other projects, or perhaps in groups where you have direct access, or they might be in your personal namespace, but in a way, the one they are related to your existing stuff, they show up first. And then if you don't have enough, we fill in the existing space with public data connector that might be or might not be relevant to you. And here you have a search input where you can start searching for content. The main idea is that you can actually see your existing data connector. So it's most filtering rather than a full search, but it should be enough to identify whatever you want to reuse. So for example, if you type job, then the list is gonna be shorter. As I mentioned, first we show your existing stuff. So if you have something related to this search term, it should show up here. And then we fill in the space with the public resources. So on the background, you can see there are no data connectors, and now linking it is as easy as clicking here. And you can see in the background that you have the data connector link now. So in this interface, you can also paste the identifier as in the previous approach that I've just shown you. That's not very common, to be honest, but you can still do it. If you do not wanna search, or I don't know, maybe someone else gave you like a specific identifier and you wanna link it directly to your projects, that's the easiest way. I don't have an example, but we treat DOI in a very similar way. So perhaps I can just copy paste a DOI identifier, and if we identify something, so if it does exist, then we fetch some information and we show that to you so you can decide whether to link it or not. And whenever we have a precise match, we don't show other entries just to, remove some noise. So it's unlikely that if you copy paste a specific DOI, you are interested in a bunch of other stuff loosely related to that. So again, you can click on the link button and then it's gonna show up here. All right. If any resource is already linked to the project, then either we filter it out. So if it's a generic search, or if it's a specific identifier like a DOI or a data connector identifier, then we show you this feedback. So something exists, but it's already linked to the project. Yeah, we don't really have changes for the way you create a new data connector. So if that's what you wish to do, you still have the tab selection up here and you can create a new data connector. And for any other need, like if you want to really, I don't know, like filter or do a deeper search of data connectors, then we redirect you to the search page. This is still a little unpolished in the sense that as of now, if you click on the search link, you end up in the search page. We already pre-select something like we search only for data connectors. If you enter any query, it's preserved up here. But you still need to, copy paste the identifier if you wish to link something here. As part of this build, we actually plan for further changes so that you can link an existing data connector from the search directly to one of your projects, but this might take a little longer before it's ready. So yeah, that's the first change I meant to show you. I'm gonna use the same deployment to show you something else, but if you have any question or comment, please feel free to ask. All right, this has already been reviewed, so it should be available the next time we do a full release. Okay, something else I want to show you is, so we now have a bunch of different entities in Renku Lab that we implemented gradually. So we don't really have a precise standard for showing stuff in a consistent way. So an example might be if you go to the search page, you look for a project and then you click here and you go straight to the project page. But if you look for data connectors, then you click here and we open a panel. And now we have additional stuff up here because it's preview, but in Renku Lab, there is no full page for the data connector. So we did an effort to standardize visualization everywhere. And the first part of that actually touches the main entities. So for example, the user page, group pages, project pages, and the newly implemented data connector page. In some cases, changes are minimal. So like for if you open a user page, it's still the same content. Some information were organized in a way that they look more similar to all the other entities, and also spacing was fixed. But yeah, so if I try to open, for example, a project page, you see that the layout is very similar. We try to put similar information in similar places. So for example, we show the icons for the specific type of object you are looking at up here. And then how we show names and description is also more consistent. And as I mentioned earlier, so apologies, this is not fully ready yet, but we also have a full page for data connectors. So we're missing a few information here and there, but then you will have it so that it can be also referenced and copy pasted to other places. Right, and something else that is not fully ready for a preview is actually this site visualization. So we have it for data connectors, and we are gonna add it also for the other main entities. So for example, projects, users, and groups. And the first use will be in the search page. So instead of going to the page when you click on a resource, this is something you will get with projects, for example, you will be presented like a previous version of that element. So you can give it a quick look, and if you are interested into that, you can still go to the full page. But at least you don't lose the context, and initially you stay in the search page. So this should simplify browsing the content that we have available. Any question or comment? comment about this? All right, so changes to project data connectors, users, and groups should be ready for the next release. The compact visualization, so what we call the off canvas, so this one, it will be ready for data connectors, but it might take a little longer for project user and group because we're also rewriting some code.
Thank you, Lorenzo. All right, the next update we want to share is around making it easier to connect your integrations with your Renku account. Andrea?
Yes. Right. Well, integrations. It is now an important part of Renku because now users can integrate with other external services. And at the moment, we make an effort to, for example, here to show when some integrations require an external step like authentication. But we are kind of sending the user to the tour, like going to integration page. And here we have a long list. So in this build, what the work was on improving the flow of this and making it easier to find which one is pending to connect, or also especially minimize the flow to finish this connection. So for example, here, here we have the solution. So in addition to go to the page, to the all full list of providers, user can connect directly here. So for example, here, this is quite simple. So can have a confirmation page and also in case go back to their work automatically or when the user wants, and let's see here the result of the connection without losing any part of their job. Or in case, for example, here for data connectors, we currently here is also require a connection with Google. So the process start. This is let's say we connect with my account here. This is something just because of testing part. And if the user refuses or there is any problem with the authentication, so the user now we have a clear information about what happened and can go to retry or just go back what the previous step was. So with this, the user basically can connect without leaving the page, can have a clear flow and know if something went wrong. And the last part is to integrate new providers. So here we go to the integration list, and you see here I have my two options where I already have a connection. And in case that I want to integrate a new one, I will see here a full list. This is a short list for test demo, but here we found a short list of the other possible providers that can go to. So make it this more clean page where only can see what actually is relevant for the user. That's it. So any questions? All right.
Thank you, Andrea. All right, next up, Samuel's gonna give a demo of, we've extended the functionality to allow users to build their own environments based on dependencies in the code repository. So far, those have been restricted to only public code repositories, and we extended that to also include and support private code repositories. Hello, Samuel?
Yes, just starting to share. Okay, so up until now, when you wanted to create a new launcher from code, when you came there, you only had the option to select your public repository, but now you can also select a private one. And the nice thing about that is that it's going to build the image privately and push it in a different dedicated registry, so you don't have a mix-up between public and private images. The rest of the process is exactly the same. You select the details. and then create the launcher, which will start the build. So for the user, sure, the build failed, but this one is using a private image that I just did before lunch. So we do have this repository that is being used with a private image. The content is here, and I'm just going to check with the cluster how why it failed. Likely some minor thing in the setup. But in any case, you have everything now that allows you to work either on public or private repositories without having to worry about the location of the generated image. Any questions?
All right, thank you, Samuel. All right, the next feature that we're going to demo is something that's not going to be released publicly in the next release, but we wanted to share as a way to let you know. We are working on introducing the concept of asynchronous jobs in Renku. So this is work that we've just started doing some exploratory work, getting that in place now. So it won't be coming, but if you're interested, please do let us know and we can get you connected to starting to be able to play with that feature. So Ike, I'll hand it over to you for a demo.
Yeah, right. So first I share quickly my browser and show how to set up things, and then I go to the terminal to show some two jobs running. Okay, let me. Sorry. Okay, I think I made it. Do you see something?
We see Swagger.
Yeah. So first, so from the interface point of view, when we start a session, there is now one additional data point for now, which is a session type. And so we added a new one, which is non-interactive, and by default, the interactive is like what we have right now. So non-interactive type would signal to the data service that it should start a non-interactive session, which is a job. This is going to be handed over to Amathea, and Amathea then maps that to a Kubernetes job instead of a stateful set. So in order to use it right now, we have to create in the web UI still a launcher. So I have now this one, for example, and I gave it my dummy image, which is simply a script counting to some number and exiting. And so when we start this launcher as a session, it will run a job and does otherwise everything the same as with interactive ones, like mounting repositories. So I added one public repository and such things. Then runs a job, and then once it's completed, it stays around for a few hours, and then it will be removed. So I have two launchers. For now, we can only start one job per launcher. That limitation is stemming from the way we do things right now. This should be, of course, improved. So there are many things to improve, like this is one first sort of iteration. And so just for the demonstration, I have like one non-interactive launcher with my dummy image and a second one with fail, where I just tell my script to exit with 3. So we can see what happens when the job or the process like doesn't return successfully. Yeah, and so in order to use it from the CLI, we have to memorize or have to copy the launcher IDs of each one, right? So that we have to do, and then after that setup is done, we can only use the CLI. And now I try to switch over to my, where is it? Teams, I suppose. Yeah. Okay. I think you see the terminal. Is it like font-wise okay, or? Okay. Right. So now we have in the CLI, there's another command called job. And if you do this, there are now currently 4 subcommands: start, stop, list, and logs. And yeah, but not much, not fancy ones right now. It's the start job accepts a launcher ID, the stop accepts a session name, and then there's list for listing all current running jobs, and the logs would, giving a session name, would show you the logs. So that's about it. To configure the client, you have to log in first. You can do it with the login command, and in order to, so I made it to work with my current deployment by exporting this in variable. So, and I prepared now 2 launchers, as I said. The first is session good, which is, launcher, I mean. Launcher good is like the launcher that finishes successfully with exit code 0, and the other one is exit code 3. So in order to show now the first one, I did a very simple script that checks Amathia, like the Kubernetes cluster. So I am now starting the nice one. So as you can see, the result, you get like some basic information. It's all very early. You see your session name and the launcher ID used. So maybe this one is interesting to get the other commands work. And here you see that we have a new session type. The session is still not ready because the containers are running. And now, my latest one is running. So we should get now logs from the container. I don't know why the session state is not ready. It should be different. So that's one weird thing. Once it's counted to 3 or to 30, it is done. And then everything gets like shut down and the state switches to succeeded and the pod as well. So that's for the good case. And so let's see for the failed one. I'm starting now another script. This one only counts to 10. So right now there are no logs because the main container is not running yet. We have to wait for the init containers to finish. Oh, yeah. Yeah, now it counts to 10. And it says it exits with 3. And so here we see it exited with 3, which is not successful. And the pod goes to failed and the session now as well. Yeah, that's the basic usage right now. And yeah, as was previously already, so there are a lot of edges, sharp edges, usability wise. Essentially, like what we want to do is to have a basic case working. So you can, if you want, run your own images that are made for running a single command. And later, of course, I mean, we can make it work so that sessions can be interactive and non-interactive at the same time to run multiple jobs for each launcher and such things. Yeah, but that's as so far it's no. Yeah, that would be my demonstration. So if you have questions.
Yeah, it's really nice. I think also, I mean, it's not demoed here, but I tried to build from code, and it's very easy to make a job because it installs all your dependencies, and you just need to make a bash script or a Python script and start it.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, just like I think here there's just like some minor things, but like it's really good.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, yeah. So as you said, I mean, there are lots of things waiting. Also for the CLI, for example, you probably want to add some parameters to override things, so you don't have to
Yep.
do like 15 launchers just to adapt some parameters. So this is all left to do for later. Yeah. So the idea would be that you can start a job, give parameters, override things, and yeah, I hope then it will be more useful. Yeah.
So as I said in the beginning, this is something that we're going to be working on expanding and coming soon. So if anyone would like to test out and help influence the direction of this feature as we build it, please get in touch with us. But any further questions from the team or from our community? All right, then we have one more feature that we want to demo, and that is around managing resources and resource quotas, make sure they don't get out of hand. Which is especially important for people who are paying for resource pools on Lab. Pascal, I'll hand it over to you.
So busy. Yeah. So okay. So I have like this is about, as you said, assigning usage limits to resource pools, and we are tracking the usages now, so we have usage limits per user and also per resource pool, and admins are kind of free to pick and choose what numbers they want to set on each. So you could have, I don't know, like the pool wide can be much bigger than the user specific one, or whatever. The two numbers can be completely unrelated, and you're just going to hit one of them, and then users will get messages. We are still, we have an option to not even, I think, show this. So we'll decide exactly how this will be rolled out in production. And I think for the first part, it'll be just some resource pools, and I think the enforcement will not be done. It'll probably just be annoying messages that will pop up all over the place, but we'll see, so that people kind of, one, get used to it, and two, also, no one is surprised and find out that they've spent their quota and they now can't save their work. So we'll this will be kind of gradually rolled out. What I set up here is I was testing this yesterday, and I set up a small resource pool that actually has 15 minutes of runtime, which I actually consumed, but I can still show you what the messages look like. So this is just like a small CI deployment. Also, yeah, sorry, I did not work on this. It was Mohammed and Shekar who worked on this, and I could before worked on the resource usage tracking. So the problem is that Shekar is on vacation and Ike's laptop broke, so I'm just demoing. Anyhow, so anyhow, what you can see here is there is one resource pool that has a quota of like 15 minutes, and I've consumed it because I already launched a session. So there's a few things that can happen, like if you try to make now a new session launcher, and when you are picking things, it will tell you, hey, like you have all these resource classes in a resource pool, but do you have no runtime on any of them? So when you have runtime, it will say how much is available, or I think it will not even say anything. It'll just let you pick. You can still pick it. It'll just say nothing, I believe. So the little warning sign and the 0 hours available is just how much runtime there is on each resource class. Actually, yeah. So then here I have a session that I didn't want to launch a session and then wait for 15 minutes. So I ran this yesterday and it ran for 15 minutes and I got the message, and it says, it says that the quota has been reached. If the quota isn't reached, it says you have, I don't know, 0.25 hours of runtime. And then we have we don't check the usage every, 1 second. So there's a little bit of granularity at how often that gets updated. So then I think it went to 1.25 hours. I mean, we can tune how the messages are showed or what, granularity we show it at, but it went down and then it said, okay, now you've reached a quota. So what I was trying to say, if I resume the session, it will immediately tell me, hey, like you've used, like, I think there's also an alert. This alert about reaching the quota or the quota running low is at, there's some threshold, I think 80 or 90% of the quota. When you reach it, you'll get this alert. Here, because I've reached it, you immediately get it, but that is what it looks like when, you launch the session. It will run for a bit and then it'll show you this message. What else? I think one thing that we need, this is still it hasn't been fully merged, but most of the functionality is done. I think what shouldn't happen, and it also depends on how we enforce it, is that you shouldn't be able to even, I think, resume the session. I'm not sure, but we need to clarify this. So, but it's useful for testing for now, but we'll see that. I think you can see here, yeah, here it doesn't show me a launch button, but I think I can do custom launch. Maybe I can do custom launch. Yeah, so a few of these things need to be ironed out. So I don't know if this will actually succeed or okay. So just the API needs to check a few edge cases of like when it shouldn't allow you to launch sessions. But I think the biggest concern was, let's just also show the information about the usage, which is definitely there. So yeah, I open it, it will stay there because yeah, we're over the quota. And what else? Yeah, that's I think that's about it. The quota also information shows here when you're starting the session, mostly because we have these sometimes you may just click a link that'll take you to launch a session, and that means you never touch the Renku page, so you may not know that the quota is reached. And yeah, I mean, I don't know, I can talk more about how the admin set this up, but I'm not sure that the regular users are that interested in this.
Yes, you will keep headaches. So complex.
It's not, no, it's just a little, anyhow, it's a new feature, and we yeah, anyhow, it's just a bit quirky, but we'll with a few I don't know, with a few sentences to explain what I think it's just numbers, and then it's just you kind of put one number for the quota and one number for the cost, and then you kind of like, so we need some units and some explanation, and that'll be much easier to understand for the admin what the limit number means. So,
But at least in terms of the public instance of Renku Lab, it'll be us implementing, putting in the quotas for our various.
yeah, it's like different pools will get quotas, and I think the first rollout of this will see probably like it's not all of them will get this. I guess we'll see. Or if all of them get this, they'll get it only as a message. And there won't be, I think, any enforcement. We'll decide. There'll probably be very light or no enforcement on most of the pools. But the tools to do this we have them now.
Yeah, this gives us the tools to be able to offer some flat billing models, which a lot of our users have been requesting. Okay, thank you, Tasco. So that concludes the new functionality and updates that we want to demo. I just want to give a moment. I know there was quite a lot of technical discussion, but also we welcome any questions or comments from our community, both on the features that we've shared or any other topics.
Me again.
Hi,
It's
Samuel.
working. So
Working?
I think it was just a case of bad luck.
Oh, your
Mhm.
demo?
No, currently I'm thinking it might be some networking issues. As you can see now, the build succeeded. I haven't touched anything on the Renku side, just dug a bit in the logs to see what was happening, and while retrying a build, it just passed beautifully. So now we do have a build based on the what's its name, on a private repository that we can launch. It's going to scream at us because the integration has not been made, but those are public repositories, so it doesn't matter. So we can still launch, and as you can see, it's working nicely. And while taking a look at that, I think there might be just the side panel to also update that I missed during the build. Because it's
It was
stating
saying image not available.
exactly. So that part is not checking all the possibilities that are currently available, but I did not show that earlier. So voila, demo fixed.
Well done, Samuel. Thank you. All right, then if there's no further questions, then thank you very much for joining us, and that's it for today. The features that you saw today will be coming out over the course of the next couple of weeks as we put those releases together. Thanks.
Bye bye.
Thank you. Bye.